Hi, Shae Russell here from the Daily Reckoning Australia. Now normally you would get your weekend edition from Nick Hubble, but today I wanted to do something special. You see, I've been holed up at the Sprott Natural Resources Symposium since Tuesday, and I've got to say the things I have learned here have absolutely blown my mind. Now I'm currently standing on the downtown streets of Vancouver. We've got buses going past, we've got people staring at us, we've got the Fairmont Hotel in the background where I've been staying with my team. And I've got to say some of the things we have learned have, seriously, this has just been information overload. First of all, I want to talk to you about a gentleman by the name of Andy Schekman. Now, I wrote exclusively to Hard Money Trader subscribers about the things that he taught me. There are two key takeaways from Andy's talk, and that was that JP Morgan is hoarding more gold. He's got the largest physical gold position on than any other company at any other time in history. And furthermore, certain changes to Basel III has changed the way central banks are allowed to value gold. And that is part of the reason why more central banks are moving into physical gold. Then we move on to a guy called Adrian Day. Now, Adrian Day is a little bit of a legend in the investing world. And he he made a great compelling case for a bright future. But one thing he did talk about is that things have changed in recent years with geology deposits, and geologists are losing touch with their natural intuition when they get out onto mine sites. So perhaps all these airborne surveys that we are doing aren't as positive for mining companies as we'd like to think they are. Another talk that I really enjoyed was by a gentleman by Doug Casey, who I'm doing everything I can to score an exclusive interview with, but he can be a little bit elusive because he doesn't like talking to the camera. One of my favorite things that came out of the Doug Casey talk was that there are 6 key things that North America are currently facing at the moment. But there were 2 that really stayed with me. That's changing demographics, a sort of a disappearance of Western society in his view, and more controversially too, that America is going to war, but not necessarily with the rest of the world, that America is going to have its own civil war once again. Of course, there was Jim Rickards, who, as you probably know, is a personal friend of mine. He gave a fantastic speech on the coming natural disaster in markets. He called it his perfect storm idea. It was very, very compelling reading. Of course, if you're a Strategic Intelligence subscriber, you will know all about it. And finally, the legendary Rick Rule. Now, I've got an exclusive interview with Rick Rule coming up, so I can't go into too much of what he's got to say. But all I can say is everything I have learned here today at this conference, or for the past 4 days, has been incredible. One thing before I go that I want Australians to know about is it might be a hard idea to invest in, but it's definitely something we need to watch. And that could be the birth of the next Barrick gold mine. It turns out an Australian geologist has discovered possibly a 50 million ounce gold deposit somewhere out in Central Asia. Now, I met one of the guys who put together some funding for that company. I've met a couple of people who are key players in it, and this one particular company is getting more investment from geologists than they are from banks. That's what makes this company stand out, that guys who understand rocks are trying to put their money in it. Well, that's all I've got time for today. Stay tuned next week because I will be bringing you more insights from this symposium. It's too much to fit into a short video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.